And now time for the last in the present series of the Hidden London Hangouts.
The Elizabeth line opened on the 24th of May 2022.
But one station didn't open on that day, and it's still having its finishing touches added as we speak.
So we're here to have a look at it before it opens. We're at Bond Street.
Howdo! It's taken 5 series for me to get a hard one, but I've finally got it. Welcome to the Hidden London Hangout, completing the jigsaw of the Elizabeth line. Today, as you see, we're at Bond Street. I don't do this on my own. I've got 2 others with matching hats. It's going to be fantastic. First of all, Chris Nix, you look amazing in yours.
Hello, Alex. It's like we're the world's worst tribute act to the village people, where nobody got the memo about who we were supposed to be. But once again, I'm here with my Elizabeth line mug with Bond Street on it, ready to go.
Do you know, I woke up this morning thinking to myself, I want a Johnston in my hand, so there it is. Siddy, I have to say, by the way, you are looking quite different to me and Chris. I think we'd get laughed at for looking like this. But you, on the other hand, look quite something fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's always good to have a hard one on, isn't it?
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Now, I'm just going to take this off because I think it's leading us down a naughty path. So today we're at Bond Street. It is the missing piece, and it's opening very soon. We had a really cool day exploring this station. And Chris, would you not agree? We've kind of saved something of the best till last.
Yeah, I think so. With all of the other stations that we visited on the Elizabeth line, they were in their kind of completion and testing phase. They were largely finished to look at, whereas Bond Street was actively still being worked on. So we were able to see things about that construction process here that we've not been able to see or demonstrate on other stations that we visited.
And Siddy, you're a classy lady, and you agreed with all of us, really, that this is a place which is like a very stylish fashion store from within. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It's very much got that vibe of the Bond Street shopping that's around there. These high couture kind of places. It just feels very classy, clean, and
sexy.
Yeah, it's sexy, isn't it? It's
sexy. It's sexy. And we want to show you that sexy now because we're bringing sexy back today. So without further ado, let's get downstairs and have a little look at this fabulous station that's about to open. Do you know, I'm really excited to be here, not least of all because the project has given us all our own specially identified helmet.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Well-fitting PPE kit, which is lovely. Now look, we are in the Hanover Square entrance of this beautiful station. First impressions, Siddles?
You know what? It looks sort of like a boutique Burberry store or something. This beautiful bronze work really reminds you that you're in one of the poshest parts of London, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And the stone, Chris.
Yeah, it's nice to have Portland stone there as a, you see that material around this area a lot. So the bronze and Portland stone, you instantly think Charles Holden when you put those materials together, don't you? So quality stuff.
It's beautiful. And
I was going to say that it's interesting, these doors that you see here, because these are just fire doors. You know, these are the doors that close the station up at night, but they're all individual. I don't know, there's something very grand about this, no?
I love a massive lock.
Opening.
Indeed, yeah, who doesn't?
Massive lock, Siddles. And it's all just very hefty, isn't it?
The vibe slightly reminds me of when we were at Farringdon, that very first one where you've got, from Escalator straight through a ticket hall and out onto the street. But it has its own identity, doesn't it, with that material choice. And as you say, that look of the doors and the grills, it's very kind of bold and strong.
It's glorious. Now, the team here have just said that we've kind of got a V-shaped thing. We're going to go down one escalator, and then there's another escalator, if I can say it, up to Bond Street Station, and the bit in the middle is the platform. So let's have a look.
All right. Now, the longest escalator on the Elizabeth line is here, boys.
I know, but still Angel is longer on the network.
Just.
I know.
Yeah.
What was
only
it,
by
by
about a metre. Yeah. You kind of want to do it just for make
just
it that
go
bit
up a
longer,
bit and then a
just
bit
for
down
the
a bit.
record.
That would be quite handy, like a little hump.
I like this, the straight from the ticket hall to the top of the escalator through one of these grand portals. And I don't think we've seen this kind of corniced been to one before, have we?
It's beautiful.
It's very Stargate.
Presumably this is going to be a really nice sort of film screen for feature films while you wait for your train.
Yeah, you can watch back issues of the Hidden London Hangouts on it.
This must
That would be
actually
so cool.
be a briefing screen, guys.
Yeah, it's fab. But anyway, so I suppose we go the back entrance now because all the escalators are in testing, aren't they? So we can't use them.
That's it.
But we can walk down the stairs and see it from the bottom, shall we?
Right,
Let's do it.
tradesman's it is.
Yeah. Guys, I want you to meet Rob because Rob is our star tour guide today. What actually do you do here? You're in charge, aren't you? You're like a big cheese.
I'm the superintendent, or one of the superintendents, the original superintendent on site.
The OG.
Grand
the
fromage.
original.
Yeah.
There are now several of us, so it's I've been around this station for a long time.
Well, we love you. You're brilliant. And when you brought us into here, the thing that really fascinated me was, and we found this at King's Cross, we actually used a fireman's lift
Yeah,
to get up to ground level.
Yeah.
And in my mind's eye, my big question was, how does that work? If there's a fire in a station, we're always told don't use the lifts. How
That's
does the
correct.
fire brigade get to do that?
so this particular lift and the lift shaft is protected up to 4 hours from fire.
How?
With the fire protection that's in place, the concrete, the fire stopping, the quality of the lift, but also the areas that it opens up into, they're pressurised. So it's not a pressurisation that you would feel, they just become pressurised if there's a fire. So in which case, if you open the door, it won't allow smoke to come in because this area is pressurised, it will just keep the smoke out. Because
Wow.
it's smoke
Because there'll
that
be
generally
higher
will...
pressure in here than outside, and so the air
Absolutely.
pressure won't let
Yeah,
it come
yeah.
in.
And we were saying this before, weren't we, about the general safety measures which are on the tube and on any other transport in London.
Yeah.
They're phenomenally complicated, aren't they? There's so much has been thought about.
Well, it's all of the systems that have to work to do it. So as Rob says, you've got the quality of the lift where its machinery is enclosed to make sure that will operate in the event of a fire. The compartmentalisation, all the systems that will detect the fire, pressurise the area. And because this is a brand new station, this is built in. Where we've been to some of the upgrade projects where they're doing a big upgrade to a site, that's where they get added in. So bank capacity upgrade, for example, has got one of these as part of that. So it's increasingingly common, but there's still not that many like this.
King's Cross New Northern Ticket Hall was one that had it.
Yeah.
I worked on that station many
Well, we
moons
experienced
ago.
your work when we
Yeah, we
used
went
it to
there,
go up
we
into
went
the
in
egg.
it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
brilliant.
You know, it's kind of
The
like,
blue egg.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same principle as the gas protection at Down Street. Keep
That-
the higher pressure within.
That's right.
And then lower pressure means that smoke or gas or anything can't come into the higher pressure environment.
And what a tiny world we live in, because I started off by saying when we were at King's Cross, I didn't realise it was your lift that we were actually in. That's genius. Right,
Might be one of them.
where next?
Okay.
Where should we go next?
So we're gonna go down the fire intervention route, which is an emergency escape area coming up from, again pressurised. So we everything is in line with wheelchair access now, staircase down. So from the platforms, in the event of an emergency and an evacuation, this staircase along with another one would be used. This staircase is pressurised because the firemen will be using it as well. And then this is an exit route out, of which I can't open the doors at the moment, but I can show you outside afterwards. So you would go up to Hanover or down to Deering Passage and around, depending on the main thing is to get out of. Which
Even the fire doors are bronze here.
yeah,
I love it.
it's the bronze station.
I of course have been scarred by these areas ever since I went to film the one at Canary Wharf and the door shut behind me. I couldn't get out. And
Oh, and then
was
Alex
making
just
the-
went to the control room.
bing
and was
I have the
making-
key, you'll get
making-
out.
Bing
making
bong, could Chris
notices.
come to the control, please? I need a sandwich, I think was my line.
These enormous fire escapes have really been a feature since Jubilee Line extension when they started fitting them there. And I think people would be surprised to see the enormity of these spaces that are all there hidden behind doors.
And also the plainness as well. I mean, you are struck by, I mean, there's such amazing decoration in the stations, back of house, concrete walls and grey floors.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't want people to be
Yeah.
distracted from exiting
No.
the station.
As Siddy said, it's impressive. You've still got the bronze on the inside of the phone.
Yeah,
Bronze
yeah.
Street.
And it's bronze on the outside
Bronze
as well.
Street.
The whole station is clad in bronze. But you have these put in at LU upgrade at Tottenham Court Road, which I've seen to. I've been everywhere, but I was part of that as the finishing off, handing over. So there are 2 of these huge staircases to get people out, which is great. Nobody gets stuck.
Let's go somewhere pretty.
Yeah, come on. Follow
You're
me.
the man. You're the main. Oh, no, this is much more like it. So we're back to the stone on the walls and those
Yeah.
beautiful formed circular holes in those panels as well. Is
Looks
it the same
familiar.
here? Is it the same here, that every panel is bespoke to the location?
They are, yes.
Gordon Bennett.
And the
all those
whole of
stations.
Crossrail is the same. They're all bespoke panels. A lot of them are very, very similar size. We're coming to the end of construction and more testing and commissioning, so these will all be cleaned up to their final stage for welcoming the public later on in the year.
We've got signs, guys.
We have.
It's a sign.
Yeah, a lot of, and it's acoustic, right? Because you
Yeah.
got these
Yeah,
little
they're
dots in it.
perforated tiles there. It's you've got your hands free. You can do the clap test.
Nice wide passageways for the public, because there's going to be a lot of people on these trains.
And we
coming
talked
on
about
and
this
off.
before as well, about the lighting, this very stark, cool light where you're
Yeah.
not meant to linger
No,
versus...
that's correct.
Wow!
Yeah.
That.
Oh, wow,
300
look
metres.
at- But look at this.
Oh, nice work, Siddles. Love that.
Station.
Oh, it's like being
Close.
back at South Kensington.
Isn't it?
Opening soon. Oh, I like this.
Should we
This is
squat
quite
in?
cool.
Should we all do a little photograph? We could do this. Get Chris to do this. Come on,
Are
squat
you
down,
expecting
babe.
my knees to cope with this?
I love this.
Oh, right, here we
Not
go.
that old.
This could be the title plate.
Oh, get up off your floor. Honestly,
There we go.
You're making it dirty. This is fabulous. Look at it.
Very clever.
And that will just peel off, Rob. Is that
Yeah,
how it's
that will
gonna-
peel
that'll
off, and
underneath
the
it says
sticky
Bond
tape
Street.
underneath will clean off.
We need
Bond
just a
Street.
minute though, don't we? Just to take in the beauty of this platform, because once again, it is. I think the spaces that have been created by the Elizabeth Line they make you draw breath, don't they?
They do, and I'm enjoying having the moment to be able to look at it, because so far we've only been able to see it while speeding by on a wonderfully fast train.
I think they're going to shut down some gyms in inner London. People walking up and down these.
So true,
Right,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Just jog on.
Yeah.
So, many people have said that.
Shall
to
we?
me.
Jog
Love
on.
this. Love
Oh,
it.
there's a train
one
coming.
coming through.
This is
There we
quite
go.
cool. It's quite a moment, isn't it? We actually
wave.
waving at the passengers. It's quite lovely,
Well, maybe.
isn't it?
Well, I just saw on one of your screens we should be standing as far back
Yeah.
from the train
Yeah, as possible.
as possible.
And
They slow down as they
previous-
come through here,
Yeah.
and then the people can actually see the
See
closed
it, yeah.
station and opening soon. So
I love that. I love doing
I
this.
hope people don't feel that we're taking the mick by waving.
People are nodding. They're actually nodding and waving. This is brilliant. Something about human psyche, isn't it?
it's the way they
obliged to wave
glide
at
as well.
trains, It's the law.
You
We've
know,
talked
if
about
you
this
were
before.
stood on a Crossrail platform, it would be rattling as
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
went
Whoa,
through.
that made me
don't-
dizzy.
That was
you
good,
don't
wasn't it?
get in. So if we look behind us, we have one of the smoke cameras up the top that I spoke
Oh,
to
yes.
you about, up the top there looking.
Just up there.
Tell us about how this works, Rob. This smoke system is quite fascinating. If anyone who watched the TV series about this line
Okay.
knows that there is a very complicated but very clever way of getting rid of smoke out of stations. But you say there's cameras here. They can spot smoke?
They spot the smoke. So in all subterranean, as in LU stations as a rule, and with the Elizabeth line, there's a 20-metre smoke barrier carries along all the platforms and into the cross passages. So going up above one of these will be a compressed smoke barrier, 20 metres along another one. So if an electrical circuit kicks out, starts to overheat, creates smoke, smoke naturally rises, and it will rise, and although these look fairly sealed, they're not. There are holes and such in them, and the smoke will start to dribble out. These new cameras have been brought into use, and they will pick up the smoke as it dribbles out. Not that there's ever going to be, but just in case. And then with the smoke barriers, it isolates it to a 20 metre. So if there's smoke coming out of this area, the fire brigade come down, they know it's between here and here, and it's not spread along further, or it's not coming from further. We know where the problem is.
That's incredibly complicated.
So
Isn't it? It's clever.
and the great thing is they pick up white smoke, which in these lighted areas is difficult for the human eye to see.
Handy in the case of a papal election,
Yeah.
So-
these
they've
will pick
decided.
it up. Yeah. New pope.
Cardinals have voted.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Right, onwards.
Is it interesting that we are literally standing on the place where we literally fly past all the time at the moment? It's so cool. Thank you so much for letting us have a look
Smoke
around.
barriers. That's what we was just talking about. It's a smoke barrier. They're exposed at the moment because of under construction. The electricians have put pipes through, breaking the integrity. We're now fire stopping those and just making this compression joint up to where when this panel goes on, it compresses and it seals it.
Right.
So all the way up. So we have got these out in the 3 places down this platform where they're needed. No travelling public at the moment, so they don't need to be operational. We'll get them done for when we open up later on in the year.
I love how we are literally seeing the anatomy of
There.
the station with those panels missing. You know, if you went into like an old tube station, like so many of them, you'd see the original tiles from when it was opened up, and they've been panelled over. So just occasionally you see a glimpse. Here, you see what it would look like. I mean, that was sprayed concrete.
That's spray concrete. These guys here are our enactment team. So at the moment where the station's not fully operational, but trains are running, if a train pulls in an emergency and we have to evacuate people, these chaps here, there's 2 on this cross passage, another 2 and another 2 further back, they will see the public get off safely.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Right, so this is where the famous escalator is, isn't it?
Yeah,
The big
so
one.
this is cross
The big boy.
passage, as we would name them while we've been working 7 and 8.
Right.
Which
It's a bit of
will
an
then
uncreative
lead
name
to
for the biggest one on the system, though, isn't it?
just the cross passage.
Couldn't you come up with a bigger one?
No, just the cross passage. And this is cross passage 9 and 10.
Oh, we got a
So,
totem.
yeah, it comes across.
more than one.
Totems, more than
Totem,
one. You've got
totem,
4.
You got so blasé about
far.
totems. You just
Haven't we?
walked
Do you know
past
what?
2
I've
of them.
become blind to the forest.
The
Yes.
line of totems in Liverpool Street
Yeah,
down
they're
one of these
cracking.
amazing,
Absolutely cracking.
amazing.
I mean, I have to say, Rob, I've seen bigger, but this one will do.
Careful.
Love
It has
it.
a impressive little shimmy, I think, as it lines up for the escalator.
It's really.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And so, just so I understand this correctly, those escalators straight up to where we were in the ticket hall.
Absolutely. They're the longest set of escalators on the Elizabeth line, only beaten on TfL by Angel by just under a metre.
There you go.
I love
Now,
that.
behind the black divider over there, you know,
Yeah.
at Tottenham Court Road, they've put provisions for Crossrail 2. Why is that not a full concourse all the way through?
Should we start the rumour it's for Crossrail 3? Obviously not. Joke.
Not behind that bund, but behind others and other positions. There are tunnel bores that have been then filled with foam, what we call foam concrete, that can be bored out very quickly for Crossrail 2.
Oh, so
I was hoping I would go from Crossrail 1 to Crossrail 2.
Yeah.
Not going to happen now. Probably not in my working lifetime, but
Well.
it's a shame because it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. Well, should we go and have a look
gonna
up?
go and have
I
a
really
look.
Yeah,
want
we've got
to
to
see.
go and have a look.
There is a.
So
These are
if we-
beautiful, beautiful stations, and they are so photogenic.
They are.
This
Wow.
is huge.
This is extraordinary.
It's impressive.
Well, we were just saying, because it's only beaten by Angel, but at Angel you've got quite a low head height when you enter the long escalator, so you can't actually see until you've got on it. But here,
But it was part
You
of the
get the
design. Do
full
you remember when we talked about Angel? It was part of the design that to stop fearful people from not using the escalator. Because let's face it, there's only
Yeah.
one way down at Angel. They obscured the view, so you didn't actually know what you were on until you were on it.
Maybe
And
we've
so-
decided
were on it,
everybody's
yeah,
got bolder.
Well,
And it's
I
just
mean,
gonna go,
that-
wow.
there's something quite
Strawberry.
grand about it, and of course there's lifts here, so there is another way.
Yeah.
But you were talking a minute ago about, I mean, we can get no nearer than this because of health and safety rules. But Rob, you were just saying that this is all about the testing phase of these.
Yeah.
Is it called proving? Is it-
no, it is a test.
Right.
They're under test at the moment. So they run under test under different scenarios. At the moment you can see they're just rolling, and then they will speed them up at times and different ones at other times. So you've got the engineers at the moment, they're underneath, they're checking stuff, they're tightening stuff, they're altering stuff, and they've just left them to run. So when they speed up, there's a good way of knowing that they've been built, they're proper, they're about to go. And it's called a hum. So if you listen, they just hum. They don't whir away and then there's a big clonk and a scrape. They just whirring away, and it's like a hum, and it's peaceful and it's nice. And that's a sign of a good escalator, and not what we just heard there. That's a belt.
Little squeak, that's going to be attended to.
That's just a belt.
But this
all
is
that
interesting.
is.
All this is going on. This level of testing. I mean, I know we probably never think about it, do we, before a station opens up? But this kind of stuff has to happen to make sure it's all working.
I mean,
And these are
we take
craned in nowadays.
We take escalators for granted, but it's a huge piece of machinery.
It is.
And as we now know, it's one of the biggest huge pieces of escalator machinery on the system. So to get any one of those running is a major undertaking. So it's little wonder it takes a long time to get them set up, just so.
I believe these ones came in 3 pieces. They come in from the Czech Republic. They're built out there under OTIS guidance and specification, and in this case a Crossrail and LU specification. The first ones like this first came in at Blackfriars, where there's 2 escalators that were pre-built that were then craned in and slung in. If you go back to King's Cross, only to 2009, Otis built them in situ. Yeah, £1 million a piece.
Yeah.
Where these a quarter of that.
Wow, because you can be kind of
They're
pre-built and then fitted in.
They come in, they bolt them in, and they plug them in. Then there's the tuning and everything after, but they're a plug and play.
And also, I noticed just around there that these
I
are
was
the
just
spare
looking at
panels.
This reminds me of when you do art at school, and then you put your piece of art
To dry.
to dry, the drying drawers.
Ah, yes, I was thinking kind of pottery waiting to go in the kiln.
Yeah, ready to fire. But it's just beautiful. And again, you know, we always get so excited about the smaller details. But look at the, I mean, I just love the totem with the Bond Street. There's just the photography potential of these stations is phenomenal. The roundel, the totem, the escalators just disappearing out of view. Now we've had a look on that platform. Should we walk towards Bond Street that way and have a little butcher's look at that?
Yeah.
Again, look at this. I mean, you know, you see it in the road, don't you? When you dig up the road, there's little pipes with telephone cables in it. This is hefty.
Wow.
These are communications and 400 volts. There's nothing heavy in there really, electrical wise, but they're connecting the westbound platform to the eastbound platform and through and across, powering up escalators and so on. And you've got pits, and these pipes here, they go through and they'll be into that one. And then we fire stop every one. So there's one further on up here that's been fire stopped.
Just blows
Again,
my mind
to
that
stop,
all of this has
you can't
to be
even
thought
have
of.
fire and smoke travelling underneath.
No.
It's just
So they block them.
Yeah.
And it's really lovely as well. You know, I'm sure you'd agree. When you see, even with, it could be an electrician or a communications engineer, and the pride they take in even labelling up cables to make sure they're so neat.
Yeah, we
Talking
have
about
to
earlier,
because there's so many. There's thousands and thousands of meters of cable, electrical, and then the same again in comms, the same again in fire systems. It's huge, the amount of cable that
You really
goes
want to
on
make
back
sure
of
you've got
house.
all the cables through before you do the fire stopping.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And there are some with them that we call draw cables. So it's basically it's a piece of rope that's been poked through, and it'd be behind some of that fire stopping. So it's been cut, pushed back. In the future, if they open it up, they got that draw cable in there. They connect the cable to and pull it.
as
through
you would do at
and
home
so-
if you had a void in your house, under the floors, fish
absolutely.
cables or fish wires and draw
Yeah,
cables.
Yeah.
Alex, just before we move on to the
Hello.
platform, I've noticed something here which we've talked about a lot. We've talked about these acoustic panels and how behind the punch holes you've got the sound damping material, but it's always too far away to see, except today when you can actually get in close. And if you just kneel down, can you see the fibre?
Yeah.
So that is your actual sound damping
So
material.
is that like a Tyvek or something like that? What is it? 'Cause
It'd be a fireproof sort of sound damping blanket material. And that you have to thank for being able to hear so beautifully.
And it's robust, isn't it? You can tell there's not much give on that fabric.
So you don't get an echo.
No,
it absorbs sound and it's, yeah.
You could almost use it as a broadcast studio, is that quite?
Might be a few of those.
They've colour matched that perfectly, haven't
It's
they?
impressive, isn't it?
I love it. It's just beautiful. It's once again another station that will be a pleasure to use.
Welcome to Bond Street.
That's nice, isn't it?
You're auditioning for the voiceover work. I feel it might have already been done.
It's a bit too nasal at the moment for that.
I got a little bit ahead of the pack. I'm so sorry. I'm getting really nosy now. And here we go. Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Davies Street.
More totems.
More totems. And in your mind's like Rob, I'm just thinking about the way air is forced to move around stations. The reason that's black there and black the other side, is it to force air onto the platforms? Because you know if it was straight through?
Yeah, no.
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 Well done, Al.
No.
What is it for then?
Good thought,
Yeah,
but no.
but no, it's wrong.
It's architectural. Behind there, we've got storage and we've got some more bits and pieces and what have you. And yes, there are connections on some of them for later dates to go into Crossrail 2.
That black glass is used at the end of the platforms as well. It's just kind of a, you don't need to see this bit.
No,
You know what I really love?
and it's cool.
So many times I ask a
so-
question on these
This is not the corridor.
It's not the corridor you're looking for.
It's not that at all.
No,
It's not that at all. But you're right.
But it
More
looks good.
totems.
It
Yeah,
does look
lovely.
good. And you know, help points there. Everything is bigger than anything we've had before. It just leads to, like you say, it's cool. It will be cool. Trains are running, so it's the trains that heat up, plus people.
Yeah.
But this will remain cool.
And is it true that behind every one of those help points there's actually a person?
There is a little person.
So here we are, another little cracker of an area, isn't it?
So these escalators are under us at the moment. So if you wanted to walk up and get yourself a selfie, I'm
always
not
up
going to
for
stop
Yes.
you.
an escalator.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can see through from one escalator up
first
the
over.
other. That's very cool.
Yeah. So we can go up these and go on to, as it says, under the
Oh, yeah.
which
can
is
take
the
one each.
artwork for here.
Yeah. Can we get a
That's the
photograph
artwork.
of? Can we get a photograph
Skip
of all of
what
us
is on
midway
the
up?
back of house anyway.
Three of us midway up. Can we do it? Do you know?
Are
Are,
we
you,
gonna do
are you
the
squelching yet?
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
you could walk
Should we do
up
the
them. I didn't
catwalk
say you could
maneuver?
touch
If you
anything.
walk and then turn. You ready? So hang on.
Hold on.
Three,
So we're going to go.
Get walking.
Turn to the right.
3, yeah.
2, 1.
1.
But now the landing between the escalators at the western exit for the Elizabeth line here, look at that, from under the glacier.
A more welcome word on a hot day like this. I
To
cannot
be honest,
think of.
glacier to me is a very home
yeah,
word
really.
because we have plenty of glaciers in Iceland.
They're almost like, you know, the cast iron plates that you would have on the side of a locomotive or
Yeah.
something with the name of it on. It's,
But also, if we look up here, do you see that? They've got these
wow, I haven't
spikes.
seen that. Oh, that's very cool. Punched bronze.
Really smart.
More
isn't
sound
it?
damping.
Yeah.
I like
Rob,
the
are we
showing,
allowed to go past
Yes,
here?
yeah.
I like
let's
the
go
showing
through.
of the Bostwick Gates over here as well.
Yeah.
Nice to see them still in use.
They're not often out.
These are the. When you say Bostwick Gates, see, these are the gates at
That's right.
Concertina back, aren't they? Just
Yeah.
for anyone who's not watched these before.
Much beloved of kind of 1920s and 30s lifts.
Euro trash moment there.
So these must be the heavy fire doors, like the ones that went through a furnace at Liverpool Street.
Yeah, they all have done and all do on public areas. That they're named bullet doors. For what reason?
Very
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
this is beautiful.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Look at that.
Reflect from
From
your
your
shadow.
shadow.
Sort of looks like my green goddess.
It does a bit, yeah.
It's
You can need polishing occasionally.
It's
that.
so lovely, this, isn't it? It really is like going into, as you said earlier, it's like going into a high-end clothes shop.
Yeah.
The lighting is beautiful. The
Absolutely.
architecture is gorgeous. The detail.
I don't think I've ever seen a cast nameplate
No.
as big as that before. I've no doubt somebody is shouting at the TV right now that they have, but can you imagine the size of locomotive you'd need to put on the
Yeah.
side of that? Wow.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. You know, we always talk about how each of these stations have got a taste of the area that they're located in.
Yeah.
Of course, Bond Street is known for its high-end shopping, and it definitely does feel like this could be a haute couture shopping.
It's for the best we did our model pose then, isn't
I
it?
mean,
But
yeah, 'cause
I'm
we're
just looking up and I'm thinking it's reminding me a bit of the, you know, the entrance from the ticket hall at Tottenham Court Road when you first go down the escalators and
Yeah.
you've got that big kind of almost atrium rise. This to my mind's even bigger.
But you know, interesting, you know, these are, because this is a box, right?
Yeah.
This is a station box. They've disguised the
Yeah, they have.
The beams.
the beams in a different way.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time, don't we?
That's great.
If you're on this line, if you're on the tube at all, don't look at your phone, don't look at the paper, look up, look around and take in the view, because the attention to detail is phenomenal and it will improve the joy and increase the joy of your journey. Every time. It should be like our mantra. Look up.
This underground sign is kind of interesting.
It's going to change.
Right.
It's going to say whatever to central line.
Right.
That's what that is, there to central line.
So this is the connection with
It
the Central
is.
Line and the Jubilee Line.
This is called AP1
Right.
in our terms.
That's fab. Oh!
AP is access passage.
It is.
Get in.
It is.
Woo!
So under normal operating sequence, these are
hold.
magnetic locks. They're called madlocks.
Yeah.
They hold these doors back, and only in an evacuation or a fire, or where we need to direct passengers a certain way, as in the Bostwick Gates do, crowd control and so on. These are for that.
Are we coming through?
We can, yes.
Let's do it. Oh, this is very special.
I like these interconnecting passages. We're beginning to collect them, aren't we, Siddles and Chris? This is a bit like the one.
Yes, it's like the one at Moorgate, isn't it? And the thing is, I like this one a bit more, I'm going to confess.
Yeah.
I like the variation in the shading
Yeah.
on these panels. Gives
With
it a bit of life and depth.
With this, well, stainless steel kind of punching through.
It's really cute, isn't it?
Wow.
And
Wow,
because
where are we
Very
going?
far.
because the bore of itself is smaller, the panels are showing that they're smaller.
I love this. Alex, just back up a
Yes,
sec.
go on.
We've just got a bit of raw tunnel showing through.
It's just, I love the
Or the
fact we're
secondary
seeing all
lining
this.
of-
Spray concrete.
Perfect
this
time to come here, to be
is
honest.
hand cut.
Beautiful job.
It really is a
Yeah.
beautiful station.
It
Are you
is.
proud of it?
Yeah, very.
Is it
I'm
sometimes
going to
just
take
a
a
case
seat.
of
I'm
nagging
feeling
the
pretty
boss?
tired.
And just, I really want to do it. I really want to do
Honestly,
it.
they've not even taken the film off and she's already trying them out.
It's,
I mean, I have
I'll let
been
the
ill
old
for a
weary
while.
ones take a seat.
Absolutely shattered, babe. Do you know, the lovely thing about this is, I reckon if we were to put a tap on the bottom of our trousers, we could just drain away.
Ew.
I think I've got a dry fall in Maine or whatever it's called.
Yes, your trousers are now charged.
But not very dry. Wet falling made.
Wet falling trousers.
I do hope nobody's eating while they're watching this.
So yummy. It really just go on and on, doesn't it?
It's got a pleasant
So where
meander
does
to
it-
it, though.
Where
It's to
does
stop
it connect
horses
with
bolting.
the
central line.
Yeah. Oh, so
you'll
it's the central
see
line.
it, yeah. So this section here
That's nice.
that went round, and then you've got this little kink here that went round, is 100%, the railing behind it that the panel's fixed to is 100% bespoke. A man called Lucian, who's now retired and back with his wife in Romania and would have retired a year previous, stayed on. He's a fantastic engineer and cut and shaped every last rail to go in here by hand with some other guys. Slowly, but good, right first time. Mark Wild's been down here several times and has thanked him for it as well. It's a lovely.
Extraordinary.
Lucian, we salute you
Yeah.
for your
Lucian.
lovely work. Well done.
Well done.
And so just behind that hoarding is Live Railway.
Is below there, and you
Ah.
can hear them come through.
Funny.
It's central line.
Looks like an old garden gate, doesn't it? Always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. All that work that's done and everything else is at some old barn door at the end of it. It's great. It's 4x2.
Wow.
Oh, this is nice.
Wow.
Oh, we're doing the TV wow. Oh, hey, actually,
That over there,
genuine
that
wow.
lovely
That is
bit
actually
of artwork
cool.
on the wall there. That's pretty beautiful.
That kind of reminds me of the, you know, the old poster we have in the collection, which has the Johnston font.
Yes,
Kind of.
absolutely.
Yeah, it reminds me.
It's
Prototype
really
Johnston.
stick with me here.
So
Those
it's-
pillars with the bronze work. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen a photo of uranium fuel rod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
it
that
looks
does
like the
look
heat
like
sink
that.
casing for a.
It's like the fan on Mrs. Williams, the maths teacher's overhead projector.
I thought that. Yeah.
That'll
very
ring true with a lot of viewers.
Got to say though, again, it does reflect the area it's in. It still feels like a
It's really lovely, isn't it?
posh clothes store.
And when you look, I mean,
It's great, isn't it?
it's touchy-feely.
You could use it as a cooling tower.
You
That'd
could
be a heck of a
spin it
heat
now,
sink.
yeah. Spin it. But I love it. Should we have a little look at that artwork over there and get a proper
I think
view
we
of it?
should.
Because this is, and then, of course, this is the view you get as you go down the escalators.
Oh, that is just
That's
beautiful.
really
The
nice.
way
Really
it
lovely.
changes as the light casts on
Yeah.
it. That's
That is so cool. And I love the busyness of this as well. We're so lucky to get into these places like this because
really stunning.
it's so beautiful. What do you think then, Sid?
Yeah, it's really nice.
So this piece of artwork, I struggled for a long time to work out what it was. Is it just numbers? Is it not? No, it represents what used to be in the old stations where the numbers would flip round to show the trains
clipboards.
coming in, the clipboards for the trains, of which now are all
Brilliant.
digital, but that represents the folding over of the boards so
Kind of
for an
the one you
artist of
twisted,
nowadays
yeah.
to have come up with, I think is great.
I'm genuinely smitten with that.
It's
I think
incredible.
great
Yeah.
beauty.
Yeah.
It's
So
really
you
nice.
was nearly there. You was nearly there.
Well, I was thinking it was like combination lock or
That
something.
on a suitcase.
But that makes total sense.
Or even
Yeah.
like, you know, a
So the-
date stamp
Yeah.
where you have to
Yeah,
change
so
the
the
date.
boards
and
would
then-
flip round and it would be, you know, Charing Cross to such and such and such and such.
I adore
That's
it.
right.
I absolutely adore it.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore it. What a clever station. Rob, thank you so much for
More
letting
than
us see
welcome.
this place.
Yeah.
We can't wait for it to open later this year. It's going to be
That's
lovely.
just because it'll make your way home quicker, won't it?
Well, I can come and see you. Be great. Thank you. Beautiful station.
You're more than welcome, all of you.
I'm sure
Come
you're
on,
incredibly proud of your
you.
work
Let's get
and
out
your
there.
team.
I am. I really am. Thank you.
And we look forward to it opening up for all of us.
Yep.
Right, time for a nice lolly.
Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, outside. Let's get through here.
Let's
way.
get out.
Now then, I need to know where the ice creams are because frankly.
Oh, and what could be more welcoming than a Grandin skip right at the end?
Oh, someone sent a car for me. It was just wonderful that day. And yeah, I did manage to get the Crossrail high vis that I've been wanting. So I am effectively a magpie as I go around these places. It's wonderful. And Rob and Dave Locke were lovely enough to let us take a little souvenir. I mean, imagine getting a Crossrail hat with your own name on it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It will not end up on eBay, I promise. Chris, the station was wonderful. And you spotted the sandstone immediately, didn't you?
Yeah, the sandstone on that entrance is really beautiful, rich, deep red colour, and I spotted it straight away because it reminds me of my parents' church back home in Manchester, which is made out of very similar red sandstone.
Gorgeous stuff. And you remember when we were coming out of the sort of the Oxford Circus end, Sids, and we went into that really posh square, that little colonnade just outside the station exit. It says in the book, this is the Bible, by the way, according to the Elizabeth line. We have used this so much that it's called the Medici Courtyard, one of the first public courtyards to open in Mayfair for more than a century. And even that little area, that tiny little area by those big, gorgeous bronze doors that you spotted, even that's classy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a real, there's just something like very polished and beautiful and clean about it. It feels very much like you said, like, you know, a beautiful piece of couture or something like that. And yeah, it's just, as you said, it's beautiful. It's really well done. I'm really excited for people to get to use it.
Dispute. And now that line is going to be open. All the testing is going on at the moment. So they're doing through running to Reading on Sundays and goodness knows what else. It's fantastic. It's all happening. So very soon indeed, a fully functional, genius railway line is going to be operating for Londoners and visitors. And we urge you to go and use it because on hot days, let me guarantee it is the coolest part of London on one of those trains. It is a beautiful experience travelling. I now go out of my way to use that line whenever I can. It is a godsend to me and thoroughly enjoyable. And you're going to enjoy it too. Another thing about that station, Chris, just before we finish up, is that although we call it Bond Street, there's an entrance so close to Oxford Circus that you could almost say even Oxford Circus has got a connection to the Elizabeth line.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Tottenham Court Road if we go to the next station down, which is a similar thing. There's one entrance along with the others at Tottenham Court Road Tube Station, and then there's another one which is all the way at the other end of the platform and a bit, which is closer to Oxford Circus. So Oxford Circus has kind of got two entrances very, very close to it from those neighbouring stations.
Now, I didn't prime the guys for this question, but I'm going to throw that at them anyway. Siddy, closing thoughts on the Elizabeth line, because this is probably the last time for a little while that we're going to be looking behind the scenes of the Lizzie line, certainly until it's completely open. We've got some other episodes planned. We're going to talk to the driver of the first train and all sorts of things like that. But for now, this is all about the architecture. Closing thoughts on the line.
I think it's been a marvel. It's been such a joy for us to be, exploring them and looking at how they were built and how they and their final product. How exciting. I just feel like, we've been a part of something bigger and we've got to really tell that story in a lovely way. But I would say my favorite bit about the Elizabeth line, it always feels like entering another world when you go into one of the Elizabeth line stations. I just think that experience is one that is very rare, I think, on public transport. You get that transformational sense of going.
True newness. It's like walking through a curtain, isn't it, into another world. Chris, what do you think?
I think, as we've said before, it's the most significant new line to open in several generations. Really transformative approach to how we think about railways running underground. And in the case of Bond Street, I'm really glad that they took the extra time to finish it to the standard that they are doing, rather than trying to rush it to get it partially open in time for the main opening. So I think it's a line that will stand the test of time. And I think Bond Street in particular is a really, really beautiful station that we're going to enjoy fairly soon.
It feels really sort of awkward naming people as for thanks, because the journey that we've been on, I think from my point of view, we've been so lucky to go to these places so early ahead of everybody else. At times when it's been like a building site, that when we were at Bond Street a couple of weeks ago, it was literally high vis from head to toe. We were sweating like crazy in that suit, and that certainly needs another wash. But seriously, it was wonderful to be there, and we're so lucky to have met the people we've met. True professionals with kind hearts and welcoming for all of us. So thank you so much to them for allowing us and you into their workspaces. But also, when you go around there, I just can't take in how big and how fabulous this project has been for London and what changes it's made. It's going to be fantastic. So thank you so much. Andy Lord, Andy Byford, Mark Wilde from the original Crossrail project, the Elizabeth line as it is now known. Thank you so much for your brilliance, really, and kindness and welcoming to you as well. And to all the other people we've met along the way. Too many to mention, but we're so, so grateful indeed. And thank you. So the next experience that you'll have of Bond Street is when you can get out there and go shopping in some time to come in autumn, which is going to be fantastic. Now, notes, queries and questions. We have said, haven't we, that this is the final episode of series 5, and we need a break. We've all been poorly. We're on our knees, frankly, with tiredness. We need a little bit of a break, and you probably need a break from us as well. But before we go, one more set of notes, queries and questions that, guys, I think you're going to enjoy. Do you remember when Chris and Laura went to City Road Station? Mm. And I happened to mention, Siddles, that there is an air grill with a massive fan underneath it, which had a certain, you'd love it, a certain uplift of air, which may blow a skirt up. Now, I happen to mention, Sids, that I wonder if I ever did drag, whether our viewers, our lovely viewers, could come up with names for me in drag. I mean, how do you think about this, Siddles? Is this a good idea or a terrible idea?
I think it's the best idea I've heard so far in my life, maybe.
Well, it's funny you should say that, really.
I think it's worth explaining for those people who didn't see that episode that the connection between that grill and you thinking about a drag name was because I'd commented that I was having a Marilyn Monroe moment with my hi-fi blowing up, and indeed commented boo-boo-be-doo. At which point Alex thought, I could go one stage further. So
We have the first one, and we'll just go through a couple of these. Alexia Angel, I think, is a very, very classy name because we're so close to Angel Station. What do you think of that one?
Alexia Angel. Yeah, I like it.
Dusty Scrubber.
Right. Okay. This
Yeah.
sounds like it's some sort of nighttime tube cleaning arrangement. Yeah.
Or
Right.
like a sponge you buy in Waitrose.
Lady Pickly Dickly.
Yeah. Next.
Kitty Cockfosters.
Wow.
All right.
Oh dear, you fabulous, fabulous people. Now, obviously, with the uplift of the skirt, Jay came up with Marilyn Moquette.
Oh, that's quite good.
That's actually really good. Or Dame Dusty Wipes.
I think we have a winner.
That's it. That's the one.
There was one other. Ah, yeah, now here it is. Chris, this one's for you. David Ham says Alexandra Grinder or Wendy Wet Wipe.
I presume that's as in grinder train we're talking about there, yes.
Right, we have to finish with this one. Stuart Kenny, you win. Dusty Shafts or Footlange Squeal.
Wow.
My work here is done.
Yeah, indeed. Well, let's tuck those ones away for future use.
Beautifully done. Ah, Christopher, next we'll come to you. Obviously, Laura, we missed you, but we're very, very glad that you're having a lovely time. She did send us this.
Good evening, everyone. Hope that you are well. Sorry that I'm not going to be in the episodes for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing some above ground, very hot exploring in the beautiful mountains of Mallorca. Take care, guys, and see you soon.
Didn't she look gorgeous in that film? Gorgeous.
She's on
gorgeous,
holiday,
gorgeous.
bless her.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Absolutely gorgeous. I do love the look of that pool. But Chris, thank you so much for Series 5 and all the brilliance and all the camaraderie and fabulousness you bring.
What a great series it's been. I can't believe some of the places that we've been to and enjoyed and shared. So, yep, here's to Series 6.
And we are fast approaching our 100th episode. And trust me, this is going to be, it's going to knock your socks off. It will knock your socks off. It's brilliant. Siddles, I love you. I just love you. You're fab.
Yeah, you guys are fab. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I can't believe 100 episodes. How does that even make sense? Like that is immense, and we couldn't have done it without you, dear viewers, and I couldn't have done it without you too, Alex, Chris, and of course Laura. Miss you, Laura, but also very jealous of you being in Spain. So there's that. So spring on season 6.
Got to do it, haven't we? If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at Dusty Shafts. It's at Alex Grunden, Chris Nix, Siddy Holloway, Hidden London Law, and at LT Museum. Maybe I'll start that up. Maybe I won't. If you like us, thanks for finding us. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. Keep an eye on our Instagrams through the summer. We will be doing filming for Series 6, so we'll give you an idea of where we're off to as well. But most importantly, have yourselves a great summer. Some really cool stuff to come in Series 6. We're delighted to continue all of this. To think where it all started was the horrors of lockdown, and it's gone somewhere quite different, and we educate, inform, and make you laugh, hopefully, along the way. So from all of us, have yourselves a great day, a great summer, and stay safe.
Don't worry, dry your eyes. Series 6 of the Hidden London Hangouts returns in the autumn.